y'all doing? Back again with another episode of The It Factor. As always, I'm your host, Jeremy Robinson, and today we got somebody special. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Man, my name is Cordney McClain, better known in the poetry world as Mac Woods. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast, man. I saw the other elites that you have over there, so hopefully I won't bore you and your audience too much.
Nah, man, never that, man. Ain't nobody. I don't believe that nobody bored unless they bored. If they think they're bored or something.
That part.
So, anyway, how are you doing physically, mentally, and emotionally?
Man, blessed. When it comes to, we still living in a pandemic.
Yes.
Now we got this whole monkeypox. So, I've had a couple loved ones that we lost to COVID, and then seeing family deal with friends and then close friends dealing with the pandemic. So, me, for the most part, me and mines are real good. So I can't be mad at that at all. God is good. Physical, man, been in the house too long with the kids. So man, trying to get these little love handles off of me. But I can't stay away from the snacks, man. My wife is really on my head about eating snacks because I stay up real late writing and studying and stuff like that. And so up late, I start getting into the pantry, man. And ain't nothing good in there except all the snacks and little Debbie cakes and stuff my kids eat. So you don't try to deprive them, so we keep buying them. Mm-hmm. I keep eating them at nighttime.
I can understand that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All in moderation, I guess.
Yeah. Mental's good, man. We just moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma, from Oklahoma City. And Tulsa's nice, man. Tulsa's green, and now North Tulsa been on First 48 a few times, so they got their issues. You know what I'm saying? But I came down here to specifically help in the Greenwood, North Tulsa area, a whole Tulsa race massacre following with uprooting Greenwood and tapping into Black resources and such. So out here doing community outreach, making sure that I'm intentional with what I want to do when it comes to young youth professional development surrounding minorities, primarily Black folks.
Right.
So I'm right here in the heart of where I need to be. So it feels good.
Gotcha. I respect that, man. That's good. That's good. Now, like you said, it is good for your mental health too. Definitely help other people, Definitely this show helped me as well, as you asked when we started, man. It helps me to kind of separate, oh dang, I'm doing something to help somebody, man, get somebody somewhere else. So in that I would say, what led you to want to be an adjunct professor, man? Because that's something I want to do. And I'm working to do, so definitely.
Yeah. The key thing was I was depressed in corporate America. Like depressed and didn't even know it. And as Black men, we are basically trained to work as machines.
Right.
So you go to work, you dedicate yourself to providing for your family, and then in the mindset you're like, okay, this is going to lead to eventually somewhere where I'll have fruition of all of my work, and then I'll be in a space where I can get some gratification from all this work and all these years I can put in. Man, over 15 years in corporate America, and I was not gratified. And when I looked up and really saw how I was operating, I recognized I was depressed.
Man.
I was depressed, and I had an aha moment. In corporate America, I had a team lead. The team lead said one day, Cordney, I've been working here for 25 years, and I had to say I hate my job. And that just blew my mind, because at that time I had only been with that company for 5 years and I hated it. So for him to say 25, he is stuck with it because he had an ex-wife and he had a whole bunch of grandkids, and he basically there to pay bills. I said, nah, I can't live like that. So shout out to Dr. E.T. Thomas. I started really digging into his podcasts and his YouTubes. And one thing that he said was, you have to find something you love, become excellent at it, and you will be, and the money will come.
Yes,
So I had to figure out what I enjoy doing. And I was already doing years of community outreach. I was already speaking at conferences and summits and doing these things, but I had never thought about getting paid for it. Honestly, I had never thought about getting paid for it. And I was like, well, damn, he's doing something he loved, as in motivational speaking. He found out a lane and a way to monetize his passion. And we have to monetize our passions, man. That has been such an eye opener for me when I started thinking like that and thinking of my passion as a business as well. That was an eye opener for me. So then I started doing more summits, more conferences, to the point where people that saw me, educators that saw me in these spaces, thought that's what I did full time. Wow. And so that they began to hire me and paying me. But I will say a lot of me getting in some of those doors was because I had the name from the corporate America. Mm-hmm. And when I was getting in these spaces, though, I would find ways to use my other passions, like youth professional development, and speaking to youth is a passion of mine, but poetry is also a major passion of mine. So when I would go into these spaces, I would always start off my talk or my workshop with a poem. Mm-hmm. And then I would break my poem down because I have a curriculum tied into my poem surrounding minorities and self-actualization and self-identity and self-love. So I would spit the poem, take quotes from the poem, and tie it to self-identity theory by Henry Tajfel. And when people saw that I could create curriculums with it and how I was breaking it down, I began to be booked even more often in the educational spaces. And like I said, to the point where they thought that's what I did. Oh man. Yeah. And then I ended up being hired by University of Central Oklahoma as an adjunct professor over the Black Male Initiative, which focuses on incoming Black men that are freshmen. And we had an opportunity to create our own curriculum that was based around their experiences and our history. And then that spurred off into my opportunity to work for Oklahoma University, in which I was an adjunct professor and became the director of diversity and inclusion for the business college. Mm-hmm. So it really all began because I was depressed in corporate America and needed to find an outlet, which was everything I was already doing. I just needed to understand that I could monetize.
That's amazing, man. And I think that to take that step out, I was just having a conversation about it earlier because, outside of this, I'm a software engineer.
Yeah.
And we was talking and I was saying, my boy was like, man, bro, I think I'm stressed, man, about work this so I've been here this many years, man. And basically what you said, you was just like, I got to do something else. He's like, you about to be teaching, bro, da, da, da. What you think I should do? I said, bro, you got to find out what you love to do, man. I'm about to teach, but I also have a podcast. I have stuff that take my mind away from, oh, dang, I'm working from 7 to 3. I don't even work a 9 to 5. Working 7 to 3, but just even thinking about certain things that happen throughout the workday, he's like, yeah, I ain't doing this forever, man.
Yep.
You think you have to, you think that's what you're supposed to do. Like, that's the way it's supposed to be, but really don't. So
that's the trick. That's the trick. And we have to tap into understanding that we saw our parents doing that.
Right.
But, everybody has to, it's nothing wrong with somebody working for somebody, all these jobs, they have to be filled. But at the same time, I used to watch my mother work 2 jobs and she hated them. And I said, I can't live like that because it spurs off into your family.
Yeah.
You come home, you have animosity built up, you take it out on your spouse, you take it out on your kids, and then you're bringing that bad energy into your home. And I'd be damned if I was going to bring that bad energy into my house. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand that even if you do work that 9 to 5 or that 7 to 3, you can fund your dream with the day job. Yes, sir. And I had to start thinking like that. I'm gonna fund my dream until my dream can pay all the bills.
So with you on that. I like that, man. I like that way of thinking. And that's amazing that we brought that up, bro, because I definitely always think about that. I'm like, dang, I'm glad I do this. Everybody asks, like, how you been? Us all that. I'm like, because it's my dream and this is what I
Yeah.
want to do, and it's gonna make me money, and we gonna be
Even
good.
even when you tired, man, when you're doing something that's gratifying,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I call it a good tired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a good tired because when you wore out working for somebody else or your day job and you wore out, you just feel defeated. But when you're doing your podcast, when you're doing something you love, when I'm out doing poetry shows and I'm tired at the end of the night, that's a good tired though, because it's gratifying, it's that gratification that we all need to feel from our day to day. Because when you don't, man, you're just out here operating.
Right. Whole machine out here.
Yep.
And I would say, man, what is your it factor, man? Why you do what you do?
I'll say that one of my poems, I say, I do what I do. I found my why because I'm chasing after the ghosts of the educators that I never had. Mm-hmm. And so when it comes to being a mentor, when it comes to being an educator, to being a Black man out here setting an example, that's what I always want to be. I always want to be the mentor I never had. And so, us coming up, I'm seeing Charles Barkley, I'm seeing Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, all of these people that we looked up to, and primarily because I was real big on watching the NBA, so seeing AI and, Kobe, RIP to the great, I'm seeing all of these Black men say they don't want to be, they don't want to be mentors. They don't want to be role models. And I was like, that's irresponsible as hell, man. You may not want to be a role model, but as a Black man on TV in the public eye, you have to understand you have other little Black boys looking up to you.
Right.
And so entertainer or not, role model you don't want to be, you have to accept that. I feel like it's irresponsible for you not to accept it. So that's something that was always on my heart, even as a young kid, watching the NBA with a close eye. Mm-hmm. All of these Black men saying they didn't want to be role models, but you're in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? So so that's one key of it. I want to be the Black male example for another little boy who don't have one. Mm-hmm. And now that I have little girls, I want to be an example of a man at a high standard, so no little chump can come to any of my young queens half stepping, because I've set a great example for them. And hopefully within that, I'll be able to create a legacy within my passions as well. And when I say a legacy, I'm not talking about, no disrespect to the greats, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, but they died poor. They died broke. I don't want to go out like that. I don't want to be someone that's revered so highly for just my intellect, for just my passion, for just my service. I want to leave some monetary too. I want to leave land. I want to leave a mass amount of property and assets. All of that I want to leave to my children, as well as he was a good man. He served his community. When he left, a mantra I always use is, I want to use up all the gifts that God has given me before he takes me away. I want to give it all back. But I also want to leave money. I want to leave assets. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, it reminds me of the college dropout skits where he's like, my dad didn't leave me any money, but he left me all his degrees.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, nah, man, that's not how my mind. So even in workshops, I be in workshops, I be in high school workshops, mm-hmm. and and I give the kids some stuff they've never heard, because it'd be multiple people presenting to them. Mm-hmm. I'll be the first one in there to say, get the bag.
I'm gonna
get the bag. Yes, get the bag, because think about it. Like, all of us, most of us, we didn't learn any financial literacy from our parents, most likely. Right. And if you learn anything about credit, it's because you probably messed yours up and had to learn how to fix it. Mm-hmm. So, with that understanding, is I want to give my kids a leg up. And a lot of the the peers, the white peers that I saw in college, they didn't have to work while they were going to school.
Same.
They drove luxury vehicles. Only time they worked is maybe an internship, and then their parents had enough connections that was able to get them in opportunities and doors as soon as they graduated.
Right.
Why can't we do that? Like we I say some stuff that pisses Black folk off sometimes about religion.
Mm-hmm.
We came to this country and assimilated to religion very quickly and profoundly because of slavery. But we've assimilated those religion type celebrations and Americanized holidays and all that, but we really didn't tap into what they're doing financially. Mm-hmm. If you pay attention, white folks are showing us what they've been doing for years and years. Now, yes, they had 500 years of a cheat code with slavery. Definitely. Free labor is a mug, you know what I'm saying? but how to teach your kids early about investments, right, and savings, and how to understand sleep money, mm-hmm, and how your money can work for you. All of those things they're teaching their white children that early. Mm-hmm. Like I remember specifically as a kid asking my mother financial questions, and she would get an attitude with me. You know, I'd ask her, you know, I was being nosy. I asked her how much she makes a year. Mm-hmm. And she damn near slapped me because what? That's none of your damn business.
I pay the bills, don't I? You know,
right, right.
Yeah.
But what one of my mentors, older white guy, been running financial investment company for like 3 decades. Mm-hmm. Lots of money, lots of investments and assets. He said he was teaching his kids about savings when they were like 5. And matter of fact, by the time they were preteens, he sat them down and understood how he's paying his bills and how he the funding accolations, how he's putting this money on this bill, and how the savings might be taking care of this, and how he's putting CDs on this particular funding, and how he doesn't touch this until it expires. Then he rolls it over to more CDs to get more interest rates. Like he said he explained that to his kids before they were even teenagers. Ooh. You know, so it's, I mean, we can start early, especially our age group. We know better. Mm-hmm. You know, we've learned. So now we have to make sure we pour into the next generation, our kids, the youth that we're around doing community service, or whatever youth we come in contact with. It's our responsibility now to make sure they have the leg up.
So you're right about that. And that leads into my next question, man. So why is it important for you as a Black man to be a family man like yourself? You have your daughters, you have your wife. How did you get into those roles, and like, why was that important for you?
It kind of goes back to wanting to be the educator that I never had, wanting to be the mentor that I never had. Didn't have my father wasn't in my life. Mm. You know, lived 15 minutes away.
Same, brother. Same.
Lived 15 minutes away. Was in my life. I probably was around him for maybe a handful of times, like maybe 6 times. Man. And just because my kids were asking, I just took them to meet him a couple months ago.
Wow.
Because my man, like just one day, my youngest, she knows my father-in-law very well. My father-in-law is very active in my children's life. Mm-hmm. And one day she asked, I know Papito. So, you know, my father-in-law is Mexican. Mm-hmm. And she said, I know Papito, but do you have a daddy? She asked me just like that, do you have a daddy?
Oh, wow.
And I said, because it caught me off guard. I said, yeah, I have a daddy. Well, she said, well, I need to meet him. Mm-hmm. I said, damn.
Wow.
Because, any type of animosity that I might have, which I never felt like I had animosity.
Same.
I really never felt like I was mad at him. at an early age, I kind of accepted that my mom and him was just messing around. They was just kicking it, you know, and he a Rolling Stone anyway. I got six half brothers and one sister. So, you know, he a Rolling Stone anyway. I just took it on some player shit, honestly. I was like,
Right.
but you know, who's not gonna be there for their kids? But I you know, as a father now, I see it like that. Like, why wouldn't you be there for your kid? But growing up, I really don't feel like I had any animosity to him. But one thing that I start recognizing is I want to be a great father. I want to be a great husband because my father is none of that. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, nigga, I know you see me from afar, yes, killing everything I'm doing. Take that shit. Because I developed becoming this person without you. Mm-hmm. You know, but you know, you have to come into a greater understanding when you start thinking like that, when you never thought that you had any animosity against them at all, but you have to accept it got to be some animosity there.
Yeah, bro. You know, and what's funny, man, why I love the show, bro. I have done so many episodes, man. So many men have had that same type of story, but bro, my dad, 15 minutes away, probably like you walk to his house type shit. You can walk there. And it wasn't until I got good in sports that he came around things like that. Oh, football star, okay, name the newspaper, whatever you say, right?
Yeah.
And it's not until now I'm about to get married next month. And
congratulations, brother.
Thank you. It's not until now that my wife was like, yeah, baby, you never talk about your dad. This also, and he just comes up a lot more, and it's like, you're not meeting him. I'm good. But it's like, you don't need to meet him. It's like, yeah, good. You don't need to meet him. It's not a reason. But I never felt like anger towards him.
Yeah.
I never like felt that way. My brother had, but I haven't. You know, my brother had more time with him, but I haven't felt that way. And I would say the reason why is I think at a certain time, like you said, after a while, I was like, forget it. It's all right, cool. Here's what it is. I had mentors. You know, I was blessed to have so many mentors, coaches, different people in my life, even to this day. You know, so just seeing that so many black men do that just to see what you're doing now, that makes me like, dang, all right, we can do this. Good.
Yeah.
Here to go. You know?
and you know, one thing that you know, I was a creative, imaginative only child. Mm-hmm. So what I did was, and I think I might have did this intentionally. I took different pieces of different men I was around. You know, I have 4 uncles. I took different things that I saw in them, not everything, but I took different things that I liked about them. Some of my coaches took different things about them. So it was different black men that were around, but you know, I think a lot of black men our age have this type of experience. My experience was, and I don't mean to age you, I'm about to be 40. I don't know how old you about to be.
Oh yeah, I'm about to be 28. So
well, yeah.
I know some old heads, man. So you know, also I would never known that if you didn't see it, because you know.
Brother, 40 knocking on me, man. But I took pieces of their personalities and their attributes, and I made me, honestly, you know, because you know, my favorite uncle, drug dealer, but he was very, very family oriented, right? Had another uncle, very focused on education, was a principal, he was a professor, all of that. But when it came to family orientation, he wasn't that close to family. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking pieces, the education, the family orientation. One of my uncles, may he rest in peace, very, very fashionable. Now, it wasn't until I was a teenager when I recognized he was gay. I thought he just had a roommate. But always smelled good, always fresh, you know, dripped in gold, very dapper. You know, took that from him. You know what I'm saying? And I had an uncle-in-law. May he rest in peace. He had a very masculine a bravado about him. You know what I'm saying? And he was bald with a beard. You know what I'm saying? So like gaining different things and attributes that I took from these men, because you know, a lot of us in our generation, we have Black men that are around us, and they are a reflection of, you know, what we could be, and we don't, and they don't even know they're affecting us like that.
Yeah.
A lot of Black men in this generation before us, they a lot of them didn't sit us down and explain to us how a man is supposed to be and such and such. They would say it on the slide. Yeah. They would like my uncle, he would walk past me and, like, you know, maybe punch me in the chest and be like, "Hey boy, walk straight, put your chin up." Mm-hmm. Like, he would give lessons probably without even understanding he was giving me game.
Right. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Black men, you know, before us, before our generation, they just trying to make it. They're being Black in America. And they have the pressures of being Black in America, trying to take care of their family. They don't have, a lot of them didn't have the foresight to sit a young Black boy down and explain to him what it's like being Black in America and what he needs to do to equip himself to navigate these waters. Right. You know, so a lot of us is just picking that shit. And we ain't even, and some of us don't even know it's deliberate, but it's subconscious that we're picking different attributes from these men that we grew up around to assess and then combine and become who we are today. You know, I could probably list like at least 10 men that I've stole something from when it comes to what I've become today.
I respect that, bro. And I definitely respect the conversation, because it really gets you to thinking about some of the things that we go through now. And I'm thankful to have someone like yourself, even like me now, just seeing how I have matriculated and just like, dang, bro, I already did take pieces from a lot of people, knowing the bad, the good is like, not gonna do it, you know? Yeah. But now, man, before we do close out, man, I would say, you know, what is something you would like to see change in the world?
This might be micro level, but I don't know, it's very important for me. Financial literacy. We have to start being very conscious of how we move independently without the white man. But to also understand that we can go into rooms with our counterparts, do business with our counterparts, and still come out owning what we need to own, and not giving up our total selves in conjunction with anything. Like even when it comes to gentrification, we can take hold of gentrification, becoming parts of cohorts, paying our damn taxes, coming together and making sure that Big Mama's house does not get sold because we kept up with the taxes, and we went down to City Hall and make sure that all the things that are getting approved are, at least some of them, are in our favor when it comes to land ownership. Like, being able to understand assets and ownership and financial literacy is something that I really wish that we would really take a hold on when it comes to being Black and being in this country, because, you know, we're not going to Africa, you know. We'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it all day, but we're not moving to Africa for some type of grand Garveyism. That's not happening. We're going to be here, and to be here and to continue and to improve thriving in this country. Everybody talks about wanting a revolution. The revolution is going to come from financial literacy.
Yes, sir. I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you on that. Do you have any questions for me?
What has been something that you would say that you've gained the most from interviewing all the people you've interviewed, like to come across all of these different personalities and professions and characters?
I gained the sense of to keep going. What I'm doing is beneficial and needed in the world, because you watch so many people do podcasts. Like, I watch a lot of podcasts, big name people, all type of people. Like, they'll send it to me, or I probably interviewed them or something like that. And the one thing that sets me apart is I interview everybody.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a super big athlete or you just a regular person out here in these streets digging down. because I want people to be able to see that Black people do everything. We're more than just that one thing you see, just because you see it, and it helps me to also say every time I want to give up on it, bro, it'd be like today I cut grass, did a lot of stuff. And I was sitting here, like we said earlier, I was like, I love to do this though. Good. I'm about to go interview. I feel good. I feel liberated every time I do it.
Yeah. I love to hear that, man, because I can tell you have a job.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? You're not out here on no starving artist shit. You have a job, but at the same time, man, you found yourself an outlet, man. And I love to see that, because I just know how I was depressed. Mm-hmm. So I love seeing Black men, and I specifically speak about Black men because we do work as machines. Right. We keep going and we keep going. We try to take care of everybody else without, a lot of people talk about Big Mama taking care of everybody, but nobody really talks about how Papa came home, gave his check to Big Mama, and sat in that chair and just wanted to be left alone because, one, he couldn't control anything on the outside, and damn near in the inside, it was all about the matriarch. Yes, so my Big Mama's praised on Mother's Day, Father's Day. You get a whack ass tie. Socks. You know what I'm saying? you get socks. You know what I'm saying? So the appreciation for a Black man and seeking his outlet, getting the gratification, man. I just want to give you props on that, man.
Thank you, brother, man. I look forward to talking to you, man. Anytime you need something, man, let me know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Love to see more of you, man. Definitely gonna need some help with you about this adjunct stuff, bro. Because I have my master's in September, so definitely.
Yeah. Oh, you got all this stuff coming, man. You getting married? You about to get your master's?
Man, we up here. We making it happen.
That's what's up, bro. No, that's what's up, man. Anything you need from me, man, I'm just a phone call away, bro.
All right, then, brother. Well, I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me.
All right, no problem. Anytime.
Peace.